Imagine seeing the largest waterfall in the world, and then imagine losing your drone there. Yep, this could be the reality of flying your drone here in Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe. This is a question that comes up a lot on the channel, so I thought I would do a dedicated video to this to answer the question. The short answer is yes, you can fly your drone here in Victoria Falls. The long answer is complicated. First things first, the airspace here in Victoria Falls has tightened up quite a bit. With poaching on the rise in Africa, they've had no choice but to do so. Victoria Falls does its best to keep its wildlife safe. So poachers have been using drones to spot elephant, rhino, and then, well, poach. So for this reason, drones have started becoming an issue. If you don't want your drone shot down and you don't want to pay a huge fine, then I would suggest going the legal route and getting the correct paperwork for your drone. That way you can get the best epic drone footage of your vacation here in Victoria Falls, and trust me, it's worth it. Let's get some of the general rules out of the way. Is recreational drone use allowed in Zimbabwe? Yes, it is. Is commercial drone use allowed in Zimbabwe? Yes, it is, but with conditions. So you have to keep the visual line of sight during the entire flight. If you're a citizen who wants to fly a drone, you need to obtain approval, of course. If you're a foreigner, it's the same, but you need to do so at least 30 days in advance. Your maximum allowed altitude is 120 meters, and distance from the pilots is 500 meters. Yes, a drone insurance is required, and for flying at night, you'll need a separate permit. Does your drone need a badge? It's recommended. And obviously, do not forget this rule, but respect the privacy of other people. Drones are definitely not allowed near airports or airspaces, and your drone does need to have registration. So permits and authorization. So you can obtain a permit from CAAZ, and I'll leave a link in the description below, but you need to do so before flying your drone in Victoria Falls. The permit is valid for 3 months, after which you could just reapply if you want to continue flying, although most tourists don't end up staying for that long. To register your drone, you kind of need the following information. You need your name and address of the drone owner, the exact weight and specs of your drone, the purpose of using your drone, so you could just simply put trying to get epic footage of my holiday. That is a purpose for a reason. You'll need your serial number, the model and its manufacturer, and the details about your planned flight. So just the areas you plan on flying in. Now this is important because if they see your drone and they don't recognize it on the system, it could get shot down. Once you've gotten approval, you kind of have to get a TIP, which is a temporary import permit. It's not too difficult to get. Now, have people come here, flown their drones without doing all the required paperwork? Yes, they have. Have people been caught and fined? Yes, they have. Have all of them been caught and fined? No, they haven't. Am I suggesting that you come here and fly your drone without doing the correct paperwork? No, I am definitely not. Just recently, a 55-year-old Chinese national was arrested, sentenced to 30 days in prison, and had to pay a fine for operating a drone without a license. Trust me, this is not something you want to experience. What I would say is don't risk it. Get the required paperwork. It might be a little bit of a pain, but it is so worth it to have your footage done the right way, the legal way, and not have to pay a fine to get out of situations. I know this has been a short and sweet one, but I've wanted to get all the correct information across without taking too much of your time. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my free guide to Victoria Falls. It's got everything that you need, from places to eat, emergency contacts, all that good stuff linked in the description below. So if you've enjoyed the video, give it a like, and I will see you again in the next one.